then D Raja, Sri D Raja.
Thank you, sir. The mic is not working.
Now please silence. Order. Listen
Sir,
to
thank you, sir.
Raja.
History has been witnessing many twists and turns. A man who burnt down Manusmriti emerged as the prime architect of Indian Constitution with the tremendous contributions made by galaxy of leaders in the Constituent Assembly.
1 second.
It is Dr. Ambedkar. Sir, today, those who demanded the ban of the book by Dr. Ambedkar, The Riddles of Rama and Krishna, those who agitated against the naming of Marathwada University by Dr. Ambedkar, sir, those who appointed a commission even without a formal resolution of the Parliament to review the Constitution, those who passed a resolution in their party in favor of presidential form of government are affirming their commitment to Constitution and to Dr. Ambedkar. Sir, when I pay tributes to Dr. Ambedkar, I must quote what the former President of India, the former Vice President of India, the former Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Mr. K.R. Narayan has said. Mr. K.R. Narayan has called Dr. Ambedkar a compassionate rebellion. That's what he said. When I think of compassion, I understand why Dr. Ambedkar went to Buddhism. Ambedkar accepted Buddhism because it was a compassionate way of living. Ambedkar, I agree with Mr. Arun Jaitley, when he said India is not a theocracy. India is a democracy. Dr. Ambedkar said the government is of the people, by the people, for the people. But the government should be with malice towards none, but charity for all. Ambedkar was referring to United States. And today, we discuss the contributions made by many leaders in shaping the modern India. Again, I take the words of Mr. K.R. Narayan, sir, and Mr. K.R. Narayan said, if Mahatma Gandhi gave moral and mass dimension to the freedom struggle, Jawaharlal Nehru gave an economic and social dimension, and Dr. Ambedkar gave a challenging social and democratic vision. Social and democratic vision. Sir, when I say this, Dr. Ambedkar did not succumb to pressures of the situation which prevailed during the making of our Constitution. Ambedkar was very firm. India should emerge as a republic, democratic republic. India should not adopt presidential form of government. Even when the question was posed whether the government should remain stable government or responsible government, Ambedkar was very clear, a government of the day, any government, it should be a responsible government rather than a stable government. That's what Dr. Ambedkar said. Sir, Dr. Ambedkar went to the Constituent Assembly. In the words of Dr. Ambedkar, I must say, Ambedkar said, why he went to the Constituent Assembly. Ambedkar was very clear. It is to protect the interests of the scheduled caste. He says, I quote, I came into the Constituent Assembly with no greater aspiration than to safeguard the interests of the scheduled caste. This is what Ambedkar says. Now, I am very happy. Many people, particularly from the government side, nation is our religion. Constitution is the holy book. Nation, modern nation. What do we understand by nation, sir? I tell you through my own words, which I learned from Thiruvalluvar. A nation is one which is free from hunger. A nation is one which is free from illness. A nation is one which has no enemies. That is the nation, ideal nation. And people are equal. Sir, you were born from the womb of your mother. I was born from the womb of my mother. And everyone is born from the womb of respective mothers. But how come a holy book, in the name of holy book, it is claimed one section is born from the head of Almighty, one section is born from the shoulders of Almighty, one section is born from the thighs, and one section is born from the feet. And the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes do not find within the framework of this human habitation. And they are outcasts, they are untouchables, and it is claimed in the name of holy book Manusmriti. But what Dr. Ambedkar says, this is the exactly I want to understand this house. What do we know about India as a nation? What is our definition of nation? Dr. Ambedkar says, I quote, sir, I remember the days when politically minded Indians resented the expression, the people of India. It is Ambedkar. They preferred the expression, the Indian nation, the Indian nation. I am of the opinion that in believing that we are a nation, we are cherishing a great delusion. Mr. Ravi Shankar, my friend, this is what Ambedkar says. I am of the opinion that in believing that we are a nation, we are cherishing a great delusion. How can people divided into several thousands of castes be a nation? The sooner we realize that we are not as yet a nation in the social and psychological sense of the word. In the social and psychological sense of the word. Yes, Himalayas, part of India. Indian Ocean touches, kisses India at the south. Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, Ganga, Jamuna, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. Yes, we are proud, we are happy. But this is not alone India. India is people. How we treat our people. How we treat our people. How the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe people are treated in this country. I want justice, social justice in the name of Ambedkar. How, let us understand, sir, a youth somewhere living in Shridi was having an Ambedkar tone in his mobile phone. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, you are a telecom minister, sir. That young boy was having Ambedkar tone on the mobile phone. He was lynched to death. What is this nation?
Shame.
What civilization we are talking about? And Dalit children are burnt alive? Can we call this is a civilized nation? Can we call ours is a civilized society? I am demanding justice on the floor of the house. Ambedkar went into the Constituent Assembly in order to protect the interests of scheduled castes. Are we protecting the interests of scheduled castes? Sir, there was a big debate. Whether Ambedkar used the word secular, the word socialist. Sir, I am telling you, my friend Tulsi explained how the word secular or the concept of secularism was understood. Now I am coming to the word socialist. Sir, Ambedkar was a great economist. Because he happened to be a great economist, he had great appreciation of another great economist whose name is Karl Marx. Ambedkar says, I was a professor of economics, I am quoting. I was a professor of economics. I have spent a great deal of time in studying Karl Marx, communism, and all that, Having read both, I quote, Buddha and Karl Marx, and being interested in the ideology of both Buddha and Karl Marx, a comparison between them just forces itself on me. If Ambedkar was a compassionate rebel, Ambedkar was committed to Buddhism, Ambedkar strongly believed that compassion of Buddhism can be carried forward through communism only, through the thoughts of Karl Marx. I am proud of it. If Ambedkar would have been alive today, myself and Ambedkar would be fighting together in the interests of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. As a communist, I am declaring this. If Ambedkar would have been together, Ambedkar would not have supported you, the Hindu Raj, the way it is being talked. Ambedkar was very clear. Ambedkar said, Hindu Raj, I am telling you, if Hindu Raj does become a fact, I am quoting Ambedkar, if Hindu Raj becomes a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for the nation, for the country, greatest calamity. I am quoting Dr. Ambedkar only. Ambedkar took the names of everybody. Ambedkar took the name of Hindu Mahasabha. At that point of time, Ambedkar said, the Hindu Mahasabha plan is in no way to unity. On the contrary, it is sure block to progress. The slogan of Hindu Mahasabha President, Hindustan for Hindus, is not merely arrogant. Ambedkar says, is not merely arrogant, but is an arrant nonsense. This has been said by Dr. Ambedkar. Now, people talk Hindu Raj. It is not that Ambedkar attacked those Hindutva or Hindu communalists. Ambedkar attacked the Muslim communalists also. Ambedkar warned both Hindu communalists and Muslim communalists are speaking the language of Hitler, And Mr. Arun Jaitley referred 1930s history of Germany. And my good friend Derek, he said this psychoanalytical way, subconscious plan is coming out to the forefront. Even I thought when Mr. Arun Jaitley was speaking, how the constitution is subverted, how the communists are being targeted. Now you also targeted communists. And I don't mind because anybody can criticize communists and nobody can question the integrity, the patriotism, the nationalism for which the communists sacrifice in this country. I can challenge anybody. And the way the communists fought for the independence of the country, sacrificed for this country. Sir, I was on the point of...
You have to conclude.
Yes. I was on the point of socialism. Now we do not discuss the economic thoughts of Dr. Ambedkar. It is Dr. Ambedkar who has said in States and Minorities, I quote for Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, state socialism, by making it into the foundation of Indian Constitution. I quote, the plan has two features. One is that proposes state socialism in important fields of economic life. The second special feature of the plan is that it does not leave establishment of state socialism to the will of the legislature. It establishes state socialism by the law of constitution and thus makes it unalterable by any
No.
act of the legislature
conclude.
and executive. This is what Dr.
Okay, now
Ambedkar says.
conclude.
Sir, finally, I am coming to a few concrete issues. When we pay tributes to Dr. Ambedkar, when we celebrate our constitution, I am asking whether the government is ready to follow this discussion with concrete legislative measures. Number one, sir, now Congress party has deviated from the
Now,
directive
Rajya ji,
principles
please
of
conclude.
state policy.
Please
I
conclude.
am concluding, sir. Congress.
No, please.
No, what I am
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
What I am saying. How the neoliberal
No, don't be
policies
distracted.
have been adopted. How neoliberal policies have been adopted in this country. That is why.
Raja, if you are distracted,
prepared to
then
support
your
me
time will be gone.
to extend the
Raja,
policy of-
please,
Sir,
address
sir,
the chair.
I'll finish.
You only one more
I'll-
minute.
I will finish.
You address the chair only.
No.
No time for this
Sir,
quarrel.
why this interruption?
Arre, chodo.
So what I am saying, now the time has come, government will have to consider to extend the policy of reservation in private sector. And what is private sector, sir? Yeah, one should be very clear. What is private sector? As Mr. K. R. Narayanan himself
You need
has
not-
said, we are not asking
Everybody
private
knows the
sector
definition. You
to
need not
implement
define.
the policies of socialism.
conclude.
They should implement the policies of affirmative action.
Okay.
Private sector takes everything from the government,
Yes.
from nationalized banks, but private sector doesn't follow a non-discriminatory recruitment policy. Now, they must abide by the law of the
Okay.
land. The law of the land is
Please conclude.
reservation
Okay,
to
okay.
SC/ST. Why they cannot
All
do?
right.
This is
With
number
that
one, sir.
suggestion, you can conclude.
Number two, the atrocities against SC/ST are on increase, and the law which is pending needs to be passed immediately.
Okay.
And even the reservation in promotion will have to be accepted and passed.
That is already
And
there.
Sir, Ambedkar fought for gender equality, and I don't think only women
Okay.
reservation, but women reservation is one of the measures which Parliament should pass the law and stand by the policy
Okay.
principle of Dr.
Good
Ambedkar.
suggestion. Good suggestion. Thank you.
Sir,
Now
sir,
conclude.
sir,
With
I-
that very good suggestion, now you can sit.
Now
So
I-
that this will be the main.
Last point, sir.
My
Last
time,
point, sir.
no time.
No, last point, sir. Sir,
17 minutes you took.
no.
Double
only
time.
Last point, sir.
What is
the,
this?
The Parliament, we are too late.
No, Raja, please.
No, this is the last point.
This is the problem with the Rajas.
Sir.
They never listen to the people.
Sir, we are too late in discussing Dr. Ambedkar and the implementation of his policies. In fact, the House of Commons in London discussed Ambedkar principles in year 2007, in July 2007.
Okay.
They discussed the...
Okay, better late than never. Now that's enough.
No, sir.
No, Mr.
Sir,
Hussain Delvai.
only
No,
one-
Raja,
with one
please.
quote I am finishing, sir.
See, Raja
That
should be
is-
benevolent,
That
please.
is even
Please.
my other colleague quoted Dr. Ambedkar's relevance, London Guardian quoted, I quote, on April 30,
That is already quoted by
2011, on Dr.
Tiruchi
Ambedkar,
Shiva.
contained the lines based on his incisive thoughts.
Mr. Raja, please.
How long shall we
What is
continue
this?
to deny equality
I can't-
in our social and
I
economic
can't
life? Ask
help
Ambedkar.
it.
If we continue to deny it for long, we will do
Okay,
so
that's
only
enough.
by putting our political democracy in peril. His message intended for the 20th
Okay,
century India
that's enough.
is just as relevant for
Yes, Raja, sit down,
century
please.
Britain.
No,
I
please sit
can
down, that's
very well
enough.
say Ambedkar's
Yes.
relevance
Okay,
not only
next.
for Britain,
Hussain Dalwai,
for the whole
that's
world.
enough.
Whether we
That's enough, Hussain
understand
Dalwai.
the spirit of
Nothing
Dr.
more goes on
Ambedkar
record.
and Constitution,
Hussain Dalwai.
that is-
Okay. Now, see, honorable members, if you don't cooperate, even at 4 p.m., we may not be able to finish it. So these, see, for others category, I said 10 minutes maximum. Now you are saying 18 minutes. Look at Raja. Rajas are appropriating time for themselves. What we can do?